I slept with him just for revenge, a married woman and a rich, handsome guy. But when I tried to leave, he pushed me into a deeper abyss. You can't leave me, or I'll make you wish you were never born. He said his love for me was destined from the moment we met until death. Big news in City A. The heir of the Yi Corporation, Jason Smith, returned last night. He's set to take over as CEO. The name Jason Smith stands for all the wealth and power in City A. He's tall, strikingly handsome, and despite being the only son of the richest man in town, he's shockingly self-disciplined. Rumor has it, this rich and dashing heir isn't into women. His entire entourage, from bodyguards to assistants, is made up of men. But no one knows. A year ago, Jason Smith had already lost his heart to a woman. Even though she was married, she gave him one crazy night and a lifetime of longing. Some love stories are destined to last until death. 1 year ago, after a heavy downpour, rainwater had pooled across potholes in the road. A sleek black Maybaba cruised slowly over the surface. Even though it had slowed down, its tires still flung up dirty water to the side. Ah! Isabel Lopez screamed as her light blue dress got splashed with filthy water. She leapt backward in shock. The driver didn't even pause. The luxury car kept creeping forward until, bam, 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 someone started banging on the window. The heavy thuds couldn't be ignored. Jason Smith slammed the brakes hard. His heart ached for his brand new ride getting trashed. His handsome face darkened in anger as he shoved the door open. He was about to find out who the hell had the balls to mess with his car. Just 'cause you've got wheels doesn't mean you own the road. You soaked me in dirty water, jackass. Hope all 4 of your tires blow out. The second he stepped out, Jason Smith got hit with a fierce, pissed-off voice. His sharp eyes narrowed as he glanced over slim figure. Blue dress, porcelain skin, stunning features. She was gripping half a brick. Sunlight after the storm lit her up like a firecracker bolt. Wild, radiant, her dark eyes blazed with fury, locked onto him, and somehow, he couldn't look away. What are you staring at? Look again and I'll gouge your eyeballs out. Isabel Lopez paused for a second too damn. How could someone so hot act like such a jerk? Hey, I'm talking to you. You think you can just drive off after soaking me? She was headed to a friend's party. Now her dress was wrecked, and she was fuming. The more she thought about it, the angrier she got. She stormed forward and bam, bam stomped her high heels twice into the car door. Snapping out of it, Jason Smith let out a half laugh. This tiny little firecracker was too much. Figuring out what she wanted, he pulled out his wallet and handed her a thick stack of bills. Here, this should cover the damage. Happy now? He was late for a meeting. Isabel Lopez blinked. The way he talked like tossing scraps to a beggar made her blood boil. Who the hell wants your filthy money? Do you even know what you did wrong, you bastard? Jason Smith glanced at his watch. At this rate, he'd be late. Growing impatient, he grabbed her hand and shoved the cash into it. Take it. Don't get greedy. Staring at the wad of bills forced into her hand, something in Isabel Lopez snapped. She yanked her hand free, twisted her wrist and slapped him across his ridiculously handsome face. Smack! A loud, crisp sound echoed. A red handprint bloomed across his cheek, his skin stinging. Jason Smith stood frozen, completely blindsided. That was his first time getting hit, ever. And it was by a woman. Asshole! Not everything can be fixed with money. What you owe me is an apology, Isabel Lopez shouted as she finally turned to walk away. Her anger vented. Jason Smith jolted back to life. He grabbed her wrist and yanked her into his arms. With one hand gripping her chin, he lowered his head and glared coldly. You hit me. You know you're gonna have to pay the price for that, right? Isabel Lopez flinched under the sharp glare in his eyes. She struggled hard but couldn't break free. What? Trying to scare me? I already hit you. What are you gonna do about it? She lifted her chin, defiant and unyielding. Jason Smith let out a cold smirk. The next second, he dragged her toward his car. If money doesn't cut it, fine. Let's go to the police. If I owe you, I'll pay. But if you owe me, you're paying up too. What the hell? The police? All he'd owe her is a dress. But she smashed his car and hit him. No way she could win against a rich heir like him. She wasn't stupid. Like hell, she was going to the cops. Her pretty eyes darted with mischief. Suddenly, while struggling, she raised her voice and screamed, "Help! I'm being kidnapped! Someone help! He's trying to take me!" Her voice was hoarse from yelling. People nearby started to notice. Isabel Lopez nearly threw herself on the ground to sell it. The sheer shamelessness left Jason Smith stunned. "Help! He's trying to take me!" Isabel Lopez kept screaming and thrashing. It didn't take long before a crowd gathered. Jason Smith's handsome face turned dark. He'd never seen someone with such thick skin. He was ready to fight her to the end, when suddenly his phone reminded him he had more important things to do. "Help me," Isabel Lopez shouted to the growing crowd. "Hey, you guys!" Jason Smith saw people closing in. With a clenched jaw, he finally let go of her wrist. Isabel Lopez jumped away like a cat. "You'd better hope I never see you again, or else..." He climbed into the car, face dark as night, slammed the door shut, and sped off. "Or else what? You gonna eat me? Like I'm scared of you?" Isabel Lopez laughed out loud, thrilled that her little scheme worked. She stuck out her tongue and made a silly face at the direction his car drove off. Jason Smith's furious face twitched when he saw her goofy expression in the rearview mirror. Then, he actually laughed. What the hell? He seriously thought that little punk was kinda cute. He didn't expect it, but just one day later, he ran into that same woman again, this time at the most popular cake shop in City A. Through the glass wall, he spotted her, and somehow, like under a spell, his legs carried him into the store. He sat at the table next to hers. Maybe he was still reeling from her feral street energy, but right now she looked like a completely different person, delicate, quietly eating cake with those soft pink lips. In that moment, all her attention was on the dessert. Her lovely little face was full of joy and sweetness. If he hadn't seen her go full chaos mode, he would have thought she was some gentle soul. The scary part Wash found watching her eat oddly satisfying. This woman had to be some kind of drug. Isabel Lopez finally sensed something weird. She slowly looked up and locked eyes with that dangerously handsome face. "You?" Her big round eyes widened in panic. Damn it! Not this guy again. Wait, was he here to drag her to the police this time? The thought hit her and she jumped to her feet, knocking over her cake box with a frantic move. Jason Smith moved fast, grabbing her wrist again. His lips curved in a half smile as he stared at her. "Trying to run again?" Isabel Lopez tried to shake him off, but it was useless. She gave up and sighed. "What do you want from me?" "What's the rush? Unlike you, I don't pounce on people the second they mess up." He tugged her back into the seat, then sat down across from her. Isabel Lopez gave him a side eye, hesitated, then asked, "So, you're not gonna do anything to me?" Jason Smith raised a brow. "Pretty sure it's been you doing stuff to me. If I really wanted revenge, do you think anyone could have saved you last time?" "Oh." She didn't argue, just blinked and asked, "So, can I go now?" Jason Smith glanced at the cake on the floor. "Since it was my fault your cake fell, let me buy you another one. Call it an apology for splashing you with water last time." Isabel Lopez looked surprised, then curled her lips. "You probably don't know this shop only makes a limited number of cakes each day. The one I got was the last one. Trust me, if I said I'd buy you one, I will. What flavor do you like?" "Strawberry." "Give me a second." Jason Smith got up and left. About 10 minutes later, he came back. "It'll be ready soon." Isabel Lopez looked at him, pursed her lips, and muttered under her breath, "Money really does move mountains." Clearly, the shop had some backup supply, because within 10 minutes, a fresh strawberry cake was brought over. "What's your name?" Jason Smith asked, watching the woman quietly eating cake. He kind of missed her foul-mouthed fury. Isabel Lopez lifted her eyes and gave him a side glance, then lowered her head to keep eating. For all she knew, this jerk was just fishing for her name, so he could find out where she lived and get revenge. Jason Smith was a seasoned businessman. Reading people came naturally, and this little troublemaker basically wore her thoughts on her face. He chuckled and said, "If I really wanted to mess with you, there are street cameras everywhere. I could find out where you live in 5 minutes." Sure enough, Isabel Lopez snorted. then gave him a sharp side-eye. After a reluctant pause, she finally said, "Isabel Lopez." "Nice name. I'm Jason Smith." Isabel Lopez lowered her eyes and mentally rolled them. "Who cares what your name is?" Once she finished the cake, she stood up. "Thanks for the cake. Goodbye. Good riddance." She walked off in a hurry. Isabel Lopez. Jason Smith stood too. He wanted her phone number. But why did he want it? She was just some woman he ran into twice. A woman who slapped him. A woman who somehow made his heart skip and flutter. That reason alone was enough. He chased after her. But she was already gone.